This part really resonated with me. The book totally gets how overwhelming the engineering curriculum can feel.
Oh, yeah.
Just so many subjects packed into such a short time. And often, you kind of forget stuff right after the exam.
That feeling of just constantly chasing the next deadline, jumping from topic to topic without really letting it sink in.
Right.
It's very, very common.
And then there's that added layer of uncertainty for many students, right? Like, what exactly am I going to be doing after I graduate? Which industry? What kind of role?
Definitely. The author talks about an experience he had after a training program where people were assigned to teams almost randomly.
Right, passively.
Yeah, highlighting that feeling of having very little control over where you end up initially.
Like you're just a cog in the machine sometimes.
Kind of. But the book offers a really interesting practical strategy to fight back against this feeling.
Okay, what is it?
Identify a favorite subject. Or, as he kind of jokes, the subject you hate the least.
Huh. Okay, find the least worst subject.
Basically. And then study that subject beyond just what's in the syllabus. Study it without the pressure of exams hanging over you. Study it just because you're actually interested in learning it.
That changes everything, doesn't it? Studying for the joy of it, not just for the grade.
Absolutely. Remember the analogy of watching a movie. If you watch it for fun versus watching it because you'll be tested on it.
Totally different experiences. The pressure kills the enjoyment and probably the learning, too.
Exactly. So learning shifts from being a chore to something you actually want to do.
Okay, so find that subject and study it for fun. What else?
Then really dive deep. Solve every problem you can find related to it. Look for books by international authors, get different perspectives, talk about the concepts with your classmates.
Connect with people working in that field, maybe on LinkedIn.
Yes. See how it's applied in the real world. Go beyond the textbook.
The author shares a regret about that, doesn't he? About finding an interesting international book but dropping it because it wasn't on the syllabus?
Yeah, exactly. A real example of that short-sighted, syllabus-driven approach limiting deeper learning.
So what if you really can't pick a favorite subject? If nothing really grabs you?
Good question. In that case, the book gives some very strong advice. Focus on mastering at least one programming language.
Okay, programming. Why?
Because the demand for programming skills is just huge, especially in the IT sector, but really across many engineering fields now. Get really good at one language that fits your interest, maybe Python for data stuff, maybe Java for big company software.
And don't just learn the theory, right?
Definitely not. The book says treat it like a tool. Experiment with it. He's just trying to recreate simple games like Flappy Bird or Snake.
That sounds like a fun way to learn, actually.
It is, and it forces you to apply the concepts. Then showcase those projects. Put them on GitHub.
So potential employers can see what you can actually do.
Precisely. He gives a real example of a colleague who got moved to a development team because he showed off a game he'd built in his own time.
Wow, that practical proof really made a difference.
It absolutely can. Now, the book also tackles that feeling of, but if I focus on one thing, won't I miss out on others? That FOMO.
Yeah, the fear of missing out. It's real.
But the book makes a good point. Even your professors specialize, right? They don't teach everything. When you choose an engineering stream, you're already choosing to focus. You can't be an expert in everything at once.
True. Deep expertise in one area is often more valuable than surface-level knowledge in many.
Exactly. Then the book lists some essential tools and skills around programming. Things like using an IDE like Visual Studio, getting good at debugging,
Finding the bugs in your code. Crucial.
using version control like GitHub, knowing how to integrate different pieces of software, and of course, testing your work thoroughly.
And the key point is you learn these by doing, not just watching videos.
Absolutely. Hands-on practice is non-negotiable for these skills.
Okay, one last thing on this section. What about AI? Is AI going to take all the engineering jobs?
Ah, the big AI question. The book offers a counterview. It suggests that while AI might automate some of the more repetitive coding tasks,
Okay.
it will actually increase the demand for really expert programmers, people who can design, manage, and leverage these AI systems effectively.
So the strategy isn't to fear AI, but to learn how to work with it.
That seems to be the takeaway. Embrace it as a powerful tool. Okay, let's shift gears.